Everybody in the room was crying. Hey, what's up, warrior? This is MVDB. Welcome to another episode of MVDB Speaks, number 25. Today, as you all know, I stayed at a Buddhist monastery for a week, and there's three things in particular that I got out of it, and that, the lifestyle of the Buddhist monks and being in such a monastery is, a whole experience in and of itself. So, as with everything, you got to ask yourself, okay, after this experience, what are some things that I can integrate in my own life and benefit from? And this is cool because you take all things from, seminars, from workshops, books, and living such experiences, traveling around the world, whatever, and then you put that to the test. And there's three things in particular. Like there's one theme in general that you can take from these Buddhist monks, from living in such a Buddhist monastery, because it's, that sphere, that atmosphere that you're in is completely different from our society, right? It's like a society in and of itself. It's an amazing experience. So one big theme and that we can learn is, how they take responsibility for their thoughts, words, and actions. Meaning, because responsibility is like the glue between your values, like who you are, what you and what you do, what you take from action. And if these two are not aligned, then you're in problem. Neurosis, all kinds of diseases will start developing, because deep down inside or you don't know, but that's even worse, that you don't know that you're acting in the wrong way, is bad for you, because you deep down and unconsciously even this is not the way how I should act, this is not the job that I should do, or this is not the way I should respond or react to me not doing the job that I not like to do. So how do they do that? How do they do that in a Buddhist monastery? How do they take responsibility for their thoughts, words, and actions? Here's a crucial, I want to give three main ideas that I got from that. And the first thing being, I remember we had to go sleep we didn't have to go to sleep, but it was advised to go to sleep at 10 p.m. Now, if you wanted to do that or not, they didn't care, but what you had to do was shut up, like no talking. Now, why is that, right? See, the thing is, with obviously an obvious reason is because people have to sleep, right? They have to rest. So, and with too much noise, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the main reason. One of the main reasons is because if you go to bed with a mind that is constantly going on, you're thinking, you're communicating is expending energy, using energy, and that gives you energy. So you can't rest, but also you don't give yourself the time to wind down. See, for instance, Gandhi had days where he didn't talk, right? Because he wanted to be in himself and not exchange communication with other people, because here all the things that go on, and the mindful consumption, you got to go in yourself sometimes and be centered, and you got to do that every night, because if you keep exchanging ideas, you never really rest. So that's a huge thing, and that has a big impact on your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, right? If you are constantly on fire, exchanging information. You don't give yourself rest and time to process it. Okay, so that's a huge part. Going to sleep at 10 a.m. But also, if you go, for instance, go to sleep at 10 a.m., you start shutting up from 9 p.m. For instance, what I do is I go to sleep, like these days I go to sleep at 9. I try to go to sleep at 9 p.m. It's not always possible just because of, social obligations. But the thing with that is at 8:30 I go, upstairs, and I don't talk. I have no lights on. I have no electronics. Why? Because I want to wind down, which is going to give me better sleep, but also, to process everything, right? What I've learned in that day. It's super important. So the second thing that I want to give you, and I don't want to make these videos too long, because I could expand more on that, but anyway. So the second thing is the Buddhist monk. I had a conversation with 3 Buddhist monks, and a real cool thing that that I took out of that, and that I'm applying constantly this morning even, is the mindful consumption of food and mental thoughts, right? What you consume, you are. Now I was talking with a Buddhist monk. Yeah, it doesn't matter what his name is, but we were talking like 2 hours or something. It was a cool sunny day. At breakfast, he came and sit next to me and was like, "What's up?" Cool guy. And so we started talking, right? We started talking about music, and he says, like, you got to be aware of what you consume, because, and here's the interesting idea: the lines and the text of the singer, for instance, Queens of Stone Age. I love Queens of Stone Age, but I know Joshua Homme, makes songs. He was depressed. He almost died, blah, blah, blah. And so he says these lines, they're printed deep in your nervous system, deep in your mind. So, for instance, they're talking about how depressed I am, or how about bad I feel, or fuck you, or whatever. So, every time you listen to that music, there's like right now a dialogue in my head, like, I love this song, but I'm aware of what he's singing, and I'm aware of what my values are, and I'm like, this is not what I believe, right? But it is a possibility. You gotta, it's crazy, right? I'm not asking you to listen to a song from now, like analytically, like this is what he's saying. No, that's not right. No, not at all. Enjoy it, right? Enjoy the music, enjoy the lyrics. But you got to be aware of what you consume. That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, he's singing about that. Wow, there's some people, who are suffering. There's some suffering. What can I do or to help or something? But not like thinking upon it. But it has got to be a flash, like, oh, whoa, watch out to what you're listening, okay? So that's big as well, because how many people are not killing because of the movies they're seeing, or the games they're playing, and they copy that because they feel like, wow, this is cool. And you can do it the other way as well, like with good vibes, some salsa music. So you know what I'm saying, right? So, and the third and the last thing is group. Everything, you alone. So the first idea was, to wind down, to get away from that communication, and to be mindful of it was the second idea, of what you consume. But 3, being in a group is so powerful. And I want to share my experience, like, if you know the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, he's a powerful human being, and he's got a sangha, which is called like a group, around him of, I think it was like 40, 50 Buddhist monks that stood in front, and they were singing a song, and it was so powerful. It was about compassion for ourselves, for our friends, and for the world. And they were singing a song of compassion. Fuck. I mean, everybody in the room was crying. We didn't even understand what they were saying, but we understood what they were saying. You see what I'm saying? Right? So we felt the energy. Why? Because we were all sitting in a group, and there's like different vibrations, right, between people, right? This is not airy-fairy stuff. This is like scientifically proven, meaning what we pronounce in our voice, our vibration, gets transferred. Like this is sound. These are waves. But in that same way, as we feel each other, their vibrations as well. So imagine just 50 Buddhist monks, a powerful Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, like a real leader sitting in front, transmitting that energy, and then a whole, I can't remember how many people, but more than 300, 400 people sitting in a room, feeling that energy, and completely healing themselves, crying and wow, this was so powerful. Another experience, another example, I did the Grow Stronger experience with Elliot Hulse. 500 people. We meditated for a whole hour. We shouted, we shook, we danced. 500 people, 1 hour meditation. You want to know how powerful that was, man? You got to do it to feel it. But I'll tell you, it was the best experience in my life. I've never felt so powerful. Why? Group energy. So how they apply that is, for instance, the Sangha, right? When they go out, they can't go out alone. That might seem very extreme, but you gotta understand that Buddhist monks, they have to withstand some temptations. Now, when you go out of the Buddhist monastery, which is a clean environment, they go into our society, which is full of, temptations, sugar, women, dancings, whatever, right? Now, alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, whatever. They have to take someone with so that they can observe. Now, I don't suggest that you do the same. What I do suggest is that you develop the discipline to watch yourself, to be that mindful consumer, right? To see what you are letting into your mind and your body, what you're eating. To constantly ask yourself. And in the beginning, it's going to be artificial. But in the end, it's going to be like a reaction, an impulse. So you got to be that, that guy that consumes, but also notes down this is what he's doing. Interesting. And is that in congruency with your values? Is what you're doing in congruency with your values, so that you can be completely wholesome with yourself and completely the author of your destiny? Because that's what it's all about, enjoying the process, knowing that you're doing the right thing. There's nothing more in life that you can do for yourself to be healthy, and that's being congruent with your own values. So the first idea was the Buddhist monk, right? Where I talked with the Buddhist monk about the consumption, the mindful consumption, and letting things in. The second was the 10 a.m. rule, so winding down, not talking before you go to bed, right? Discipline. And then lastly was the group or surrounding yourself with people, but being your own observer of all of that. So that's how you can be fully mindful of your responsibility, which is the glue for your values and your deeds, which will inevitably bring you in the right direction, and so that you can do whatever you want, but with a full heart, with full passion. Being a conscious warrior with a heart. That's what it's about, right? What is the main lesson you took out of this? What is one thing you're gonna apply? Right? And try it out. Leave your comments below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me on Snapchat, MVDB Snap. In the meantime, fucking love you guys. Peace.